Hey everyone, it's Pearlescent Toys back in today's video with another countdown. Today we are looking at the top 10 best Marvel Legends action figures of 2023. This will be somewhat of a hot take. In the 21 years this line has been around, 2023 managed to be one of its more mediocre years. I say that because making the list this year was extremely easy. It took me no less than 10 minutes to decide who's gonna be on the list, who's gonna be honorable mentions, all that. There were a few diamonds in the rough, however, so let's take a look at them, the best Marvel Legends of 2023, starting with the honorable mentions. Kicking things off, we have the Advanced 2.0 suit. Yeah, really big fan of this costume, this design. I love it so much. Might be my favorite Spider-Man design overall. And, I'm a big fan of the Renew Your Vows body mold that it uses. However, it does fall a little bit short in the accessories department where he just has a mismatching set of hands. And also, I just wish he had a unique sculpt just like Miles did, just to fit in with him a little better. Yeah, just a little bit of a letdown. Still like the figure though. This one being here is probably just based purely on my own bias because I love this version of Spider-Man. But this figure is quite the letdown, but it's still all right. I was a little disappointed when I first opened the 3-pack, but after playing around with the single card release that came out just recently, I am a fan of it actually. I kind of like it even with all of its flaws. Next up, we have Magneto from the X-Men 97 Retro Wave. Yeah, this is a figure that I placed very highly on my X-Men villains list. Go and watch that if you haven't had the chance already. But in talking in today's video, I'm going over the best, who I think are the best Marvel Legends. And sadly, I don't think a lot of people this figure really resonated with them. But still, I love this figure to death, and I have to at least put him on the honorable mentions. Next up is Corsair. Man, I love this figure personally. But I just don't feel like he stacks up against the other figures that I'm going to talk about in a few moments. But still, just a wonderful figure. And last but not least, these ones really hurt. These are some truly phenomenal figures. These are some updates to some older Marvel Legends figures that we've gotten from Hasbro. Bucky Cap, Ant-Man, and the Extreme Suit Iron Man. And I also have off to the side another one, Strife from that fan channel Villains 5-pack. All of them phenomenal figures, but again, I feel like the ones I chose for my top 10 are just a tiny bit better. But yeah, with all that out of the way, let's finally get into the top 10 best Marvel Legends action figures of 2023. At number 10, the most recently released figure on this list, we have the deluxe green Goblin from Spider-Man No Way Home. This is actually the second Green Goblin we got this year, the first one being this 2-pack version that came with Mary Jane based on the animated series, which is fine. I love the head sculpt, but this one is just so detailed. The glider is so much better. It's huge. The animated one had a very small one. This one is pretty sizable. It's very accurate to the movie, and the likeness to Willem Dafoe is spot on. Go watch my review if you haven't seen it already. I am in love with this figure. It is truly amazing. Yeah. On to the next one. And coming in at number 9, we have the Blob. Blob released as a fan channel deluxe exclusive. I talked about this guy in depth in my X-Men villains list. Again, please watch that if you haven't already. It's a good watch. I put a lot of effort into it. But yeah, this one is just a figure that I wanted for a very long time, and Hasbro finally delivered on it. Now, I know they had another version of this that came back way back in the day, but that was before my time, and that figure cost you an arm and a leg. This one, just like $50. It wasn't that bad. Yeah, it was great getting this guy. Man, the longer I look at this figure, the more I like it. I'm kind of regretting not putting him just a slot higher, but it's still just such a good figure. Some decent articulation, some pretty good paint apps. Like, he has freckles all over the figure, you can see. And the face sculpt is so great, both of them. Yeah, this dude truly earned the number 9 spot. Coming in at number 8 is yet another X-Men figure. We have ourselves the Dark Phoenix. This figure released in X-Men Retro Wave 2. This is a figure that I deliberated on for quite some time. I remember seeing like a lot of toy reviewers back in late 2022 putting like figures from this wave on their top 10 lists, and trust me, we'll get to another one later on in the video. But yeah, this is a figure that, you know, for some people came out in 2022, for a lot of people came out in 2023, and because I wasn't able to put it on my list last year, I'm putting it on my list this year. This figure uses that Shriek body mold wonderfully. Like, it's just, oh my. It's a beautiful figure, and I'm not one to like gawk over my action figures, like, oh, it's so sexy, it's so good. But this figure, I mean, hey, come on now. But yeah, this figure was much needed, you know, after the last Dark Phoenix that we got being a Toys R Us exclusive, also costing you an arm and a leg. This one was relatively cheap, you know, like $24 a pop, and came with some decent accessories. I love that flaming bird, so good. If you have the Galactus HasLab and you have that Frankie Ray Nova, you can use this base stand that she stands on for Dark Phoenix here, and it fits perfectly. You know what? On top of that, I like the color scheme. You know, a lot of people didn't like the cartoony, you know, old school Toy Biz, plasticky thing. You know, they wanted it to be like metallic red, metallic yellow. But I just love this color scheme, and yeah, it's just a good figure. It earned its number 8 position. And coming in at number 7, we have the Daywalker himself, Blade the Vampire Hunter. This figure released in the Marvel Knights Mindless One Build-A-Figure wave. Now, this figure, it ain't perfect, right? I'll be the first to admit, you know, a lot of people watching this are probably like, really? Him? Number 7? Over Blob and Green Goblin? Yeah, I know. But just hear me out. Look, this is a figure or character that I've truly wanted for my collection for the longest time. Again, the previous version would cost you an arm and a leg. I almost paid that price, but luckily I waited, and then they announced this. And I love that Wesley Snipes inspired hairdo, the glasses, the face is just so, you know, it's so expressive, and I love that. And I love the accessories he also comes with. He comes with 2 stakes, 2 of those knives things, his sword. I guess the only drawback is like the articulation in the arms just not being very good, like at all. And a lack of a second face for a more neutral expression. With all that out of the way though, like this figure was definitely the standout from its wave. You know, the only one that really came close to for me was Luke Cage, and I just felt like he was a little dry in the accessories department. Blade delivered with that and more, and that earned him the number 7 spot. And coming in at number 6, we have ourselves Hawkeye. Hawkeye released as a deluxe figure alongside the Sky Cycle in the Avengers 60th anniversary Beyond Earth's Mightiest Wave. I talk about these last figures and like how they were like in desperate need of an update, and this guy is just like a gleaming example of that. You go back, you look at the retro Wave 2 Hawkeye. Yeah, that one was rough. That one was really rough. You go back even further, you get the Allfather Wave Hawkeye, and that one was even more rough. So having this one with a updated body mold is just so good, you know. It's so great. Really, the only thing that hold this figure back for me personally is like the accessories. You know, it's using that Danny Moonstar bow. The dude, how old is that quiver right there? It's I want to say that came out with the Allfather Wave. I could be mistaken, but the thing is old, and it doesn't really fit in with Hawkeye. I wish they would have just used like a really old school looking quiver. Just very simple. This one looks a little too high tech. Having cloth goods on a Marvel Legends figure is like mind blowing to me. Like, we finally got it here for Hawkeye. I don't know if we'll be seeing any of it in the future. I sure hope we do. And not only did we get an amazing Hawkeye, we got this awesome Sky Cycle. Something that I've like considered selling a few times, but like I don't think I can part with it now. I just love this piece a lot. I definitely have him posed on the shelf with it. So yeah, Hawkeye number 6. Now let's get into the top 5. And coming in at number 6, we have the tallest figure on this list, the Destroyer. This right here is a another updated figure. I feel like this whole list is just like figures that we've gotten before, but updated to 2023 standards, which there's nothing wrong with. I just love the size of this guy, just how menacing he is. He blows that Toy Biz version right out of the water. And the Diamond Select, I'd say he's just as good, if not even better than that one. There's not much I could say about this guy other than, I just love the size of him. I love the sculpt, dude. That sculpt is so phenomenal. I love all the spikes sticking out, all the bolts, all the lines, and the silver that they used for the plastic. It looks so good. And they even did some dry brushing here and there to show some like battle effects. Oh man, this figure is just so well done. Kind of wish we got like a second head with the face plates lifting up, so he's like shooting some lasers out. That was kind of a missed opportunity, but oh well, this guy is still manages to capture the number 5 spot. And coming in at number 4, we have the amazing Spider-Man. This figure first released as a 3-pack, as a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, and later released in the retro No Way Home line? Question mark? Yeah, this one I'm showing on screen is from that No Way Home wave. I didn't really want to pull. I kind of prefer the one from the 3-pack though, because it comes with more hand accessories. However, I didn't really want to pull them out of storage, so that would be such a chore. We have ourselves this one, but they're practically the same. The only difference is that this one comes with less hands and a bonus maskless head accessory. Now, I'm not like the biggest fan of this action figure. However, I know a lot of collectors just went nuts over this guy. Like, they proclaimed him as the best from the box set, which he is. I don't think he's like perfect, but he is still a really well done figure. And I think what really puts him above and beyond all the other figures on this list is that design. It is still a lot of people's favorites from any Spider-Man movie, mine included. Like, I love this design. It doesn't stray away from the source material too much, but it is still able to differentiate itself from that. And the articulation is very well done as well. And the paint is super crisp, unlike the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. Yeah, his was kind of rough. Here, though, it is just dang near perfect. And that head sculpt is super accurate to Andrew Garfield. Just look at that. Man, it looks just like him. Yeah, just a wonderfully done figure. Probably the best Spider-Man figure of the year. That earns him the number 4 position. And coming in at number 3, we have the X-Men 97 Wolverine. This guy released in the X-Men 97 wave. Yeah, I caught quite a bit of flack for not putting this guy at the top of my top 10 best X-Men figures list. And deservingly so. Looking back, I kind of deserved it. This guy is just so good. I liked the face accessories or the heads on the previous version a lot better, but this guy, just the articulation is so smooth. He's pinless. That color scheme is wonderful. I love the updated briefs on the outside of his costume. They look phenomenal. And yeah, and the head sculpt itself is fine. I just wish he had like a more angry expression with his mouth, but like the eye pieces that go out, just wow, just wonderfully done. The claws are just so much better here too. Oh, dude. They're not like super sharp. They're kind of dull at the end, but it's a perfect representation of that animated look. He also came with some hands with the claws retracted and a maskless head, which looked phenomenal. So yeah, that all earns Wolverine here the number 3 position. And coming in at the number 2 spot, we have Spiral. This figure released in X-Men Retro Wave number 2. Yeah, unlike every other figure on this list so far, this one I can truly say is absolutely perfect. There is not a single thing that I dislike about it. Great paint apps, pinless joints, phenomenal articulation, a beautiful sculpt, and most importantly, those amazing accessories. This figure went above and beyond the previous, like this version, this figure bodies Hasbro's last attempt at this character. You know, I'll show a picture on screen of the previous version. That one's fine and all, but this one just absolutely decimates that one. It is perfect in every single way I can think of. If I had to make like a top 10 favorite Marvel Legends of all time, like this figure would definitely make the list. Like I love this figure to death. Hey, give Hasbro all the flack you want, but when they cook, they absolutely deliver. Like they do not miss when they cook. Half the time they just churn out just whatever, so. Like who cares about this figure? But when they absolutely put their minds to it, like they can create magic, and that's what they did for Spiral here. Now you may be wondering, well, what could possibly beat this after I gassed it up to the point that I did? Well, I'll show you. And finally, at number 1, we have Black Widow. This figure released as a Target exclusive as a part of the Avengers 60th anniversary Beyond Earth's Mightiest line. This figure is perfect. Perfect. Everything down to the last minute detail. Remember what I said when Hasbro, like when they cook, they create magic? That's what they did here. Just like with Spiral, the accessories here are phenomenal. It comes with 3 different head sculpts, a bunch of hands, some weapons, some alternate stinger accessories. But what this figure does that Spiral doesn't is have a butterfly shoulder joint, and that is so important for very dynamic and flexible characters like Black Widow. It just adds so much to this character, to this figure. And not to mention she's gorgeous. She's absolutely stunning. All 3 of the head sculpts are phenomenal. Oh, man. Oh my god. Yeah, every time I pick up this figure, I just end up liking it even more. Just the posability, all the accessories, just this endless options of what you can do with this figure. It is truly remarkable. Black Widow and Spiral for me are just like interchangeable. You know, first place, second place. I honestly say like they're tied for me, but I just enjoy Black Widow just a tiny bit more. That's why she is the number 1 best Marvel Legends action figure of 2023. Ain't that right, Spider-Ham and Grogu? Yeah, right. And there you have it, the top 10 best Marvel Legends of 2023. Feel free to disagree with like my choices. Comment your top 10 in down below in the comment section. I would love to see it. Love to see any figures that I missed out on. And if you feel like maybe I went way too fast through a lot of these entries, I actually have reviews for most of these figures up on my channel already. I'll leave links to each and every one down in the description below. That or they were mentioned in a previous top 10 video. Again, I'll leave them down below so you can go and check those out if you want to further, like, even more in-depth look at these figures, more poses, all the likes. I just wanted to get this list out of the way before the end of December because, you know, I have a very busy schedule ahead of me. But yeah, that'll do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, share with a friend. Anything you can do to support the channel would be greatly appreciated. And with that, I will see you in the next one. Bye.